Welcome to a podcast.
Toys from a galaxy far, far away.
I'm Scott.
And I'm James.
This episode we're going to be talking about Star Wars news. And I'm going to read some Star Wars news for you and my buddy James.
And we're going to react
see what
to
you
it.
think. All right, from Screen Rant. All the parallels between Star Wars 9 and Return of the Jedi so far.
Oh, brother. I'm already excited.
Director J.J. Abrams is keeping Star Wars Episode 9's story shrouded in secrecy.
Not J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams!
But it's already clear that the upcoming movie will have many similarities with its counterpart in the original trilogy, the Tridge, Return of the Jedi.
Or as us hardcore fans like to call it, Revenge of the Jedi. But
yeah. So, The Force Awakens was branded as a mirror remake of New Hope, which J.J. Abrams directed. But this is not a new phenomenon. It is one that George Lucas perpetuated when he oversaw the series. It's like poetry, sort of. He said, Star Wars rhymes. And I did see where he said that. So, what do you think about that?
honestly, at this point, Star Wars is... I'm always going to love Star Wars, but these last two movies, they've been kind of rough on me. I said for the longest time, when me and Scott talked about The Last Jedi a couple weeks ago in one of our videos, I said, all right, and that, after we shot our video, we talked about it, and, I start putting more thought in. When somebody starts to get the wheels churning, you start to think about how the movie really was. And for me, it was basically Empire Strikes Back for The Last Jedi, flipped around. You have the Empire attacking the rebels, like in Hoth. You have
the planet was white, but it was salt instead of snow.
You have speeders, like land speeders, or snow speeders. A lot of very similar. And Scott really pointed this stuff out for me, and I kind of put the pieces together, and it just... it felt like copy and paste for me, and that's the nicest way I can put it.
I said this in my Star Wars video a few weeks ago, that Battlestar Galactica did this great because they kept saying, what happened is going to happen again, but everybody plays a different role, and that worked good for that. But I just don't like this. I just don't like this. This is the last one. So, since we know what happened in Return of the Jedi, do we know what's going to happen in Episode 9?
Is history doomed to repeat itself?
That's not a good thing, though. I mean...
No, and that wrecks really...
Or, is history doomed to rhyme, like George Lucas said?
True. Yeah. As far as... Is Snoke really dead? Is Kylo going to become Snoke? And for me, my biggest thing that I've always hated about this new Star Wars trilogy was this, and you're going to probably agree with me on this. Kylo Ren tries to be Darth Vader, but here's a connection. General Hux and Kylo Ren don't get along. Why does Grand Moff Tarkin respect Darth Vader? And they touch base on this in Clone Wars. Because he knows that the Jedi in the end will not be able to beat the Separatists. That only a new order will be able to beat them, because Jedis are not willing to do whatever it takes to win. Where Tarkin now saw that as, Tarkin's a very strategist. He very thinks, war, or, winning as the ultimate outcome in life. And he respects Darth Vader, because Darth Vader, when he really first came around, he was brutal. He killed stormtroopers that pissed him off. He killed officers. He killed rebel troopers that got in his way. He didn't care, and you have to respect Tarkin for respecting Darth Vader. But when you see Kylo Ren throw his lightsaber down, it's like a sad, pouty child that didn't get his way.
Well, I can see why it might be a little scary, because you don't know what he'll do, but. Okay, and this from Express is Star Wars 9 leak reveals title, and it's all about Kylo. A new Star Wars 9 leak claims to reveal the Episode 9 title plans, and they are all about Kylo Ren and the future. But what about the fan backlash and anger over the treatment of the saga? All the recent focus has been on rumors and reports about scenes being shot with everyone from the expected Luke, Kylo, and Rey, and more speculative possibilities of Palpatine, Anakin, and even Darth Plagueis. Now, I follow Mark Hamill on Twitter, and I saw where he posted that he's in it. And now I did say if it's a flashback or whatever, but
Or he could be a Force ghost.
yeah. But the popular recent rumor was that the new Episode 9 title would be A New Order, which neatly echoes Episode 4 and folds in the First Order. First Order, A New Order. I'll have fries with that. And now, a leak claims something even darker. Star Wars The Last Jedi's title continues to cause almost as much contention and controversy as the film itself. Does that mean that Luke was the actual Last Jedi? Which I wondered about that myself. Or will Rey be? Is Rey even a Jedi? Who the heck is she?
But technically, Luke wasn't even a Jedi. Because Luke never really went through the whole steps of Padawan, apprentice, master. By a real Jedi master, they'll take you through the whole steps. Which, I mean, technically Yoda, but not from... think about Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan went from a Padawan
Well, yeah, but...
to...
Darth said that I see your training is complete. You've constructed a new lightsaber and all that stuff, so I don't know. Yoda says he didn't want to train Luke because he was too old, but I guess maybe they have a fast track program or something.
Become a Jedi today for a better tomorrow. Good advertising.
The leak says J.J. Abrams has been going through some rewrites.
Oh boy.
And some script rewrites.
Oh, even better.
Titles were suggested for Episode 9. One of these, and take it with a pinch of salt, was Star Wars Order of Ren. Which, that's one thing about the Phantom Menace, or not Phantom Menace, The Force Awakens, that I thought was interesting. I wanted to know more about the
Knights of Ren.
Knights of Ren. But we didn't. And this is something now being taken about now. It's a huge rumor about J.J. Abrams and the shift with the script and the adjustments. See, I guess he adjusted the script for The Force Awakens at the end to accommodate Rian Johnson's Last Jedi. Okay. And Kylo is expected to be clearly in the power at the head of the First Order. The Episode 9 opens. I'm reading this by this is how they've got it typed. But will he reorder the whole organization to rule the galaxy, or shape it to his own order, like the Emperor did before him?
I don't know. I don't think Kylo has become such a bad guy. I think he's just gotten. I don't think that he was such a bad guy to begin with. I don't think that. I don't know. He's not in the same bad caliber as I would put the Emperor or Darth Vader. I think he's not as frightening to me. If I saw him walking down the street, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're Kylo Ren." Darth Vader, on the other hand, I'd be 5 blocks that way.
Well, Anakin, right before after he became Darth, but without the suit, he killed a bunch of younglings. He went out on a murderous rampage pretty quick,
and killed the entire Separatist leadership.
And
Kylo
is anyway. Now, I really like Adam Driver as an actor, and he does the best he can.
I mean,
so.
Nothing
against him.
We've talked about this before.
Like him.
The characters, you're playing the role
Yeah.
that the writers have given you.
So, it has also been noted that 6 to 8 young actors have been going through intensive battle training with Damn Driver. I should have said Adam Driver. Man, who typed this? Anyway.
Does it really say Dan Driver?
Damn Driver.
Damn Driver, huh? I think
This is Dan Driver.
Maybe
Okay.
Microsoft Word it first and then put it up.
They have not been confirmed as the Knights of Ren, but it seems likely. Also, script leaks claiming Kylo and the Knights would start hunting down and killing all Force sensitives to remove any potential threats to their absolute power. Kylo has always believed he was one of some sort of almost holy mission to honor what he perceived as Darth Vader's legacy. So what do you think?
What do I think? I mean, Darth Vader's legacy? Darth Vader's legacy was to follow whatever the Emperor told Darth Vader to go do. I mean, Darth Vader, in my book, as far as his reception across the Galactic Empire, he was basically a hired, not like a hired gun, but he was a hired assassin that would go and do the Emperor's bidding.
Well, that's a good point, because
Darth Vader never had a thought of his own. He just really did whatever,
So what was Darth Vader's role in the Empire?
I mean, I think he was a hired gun. Darth Vader's role for me was he's almost like a bounty hunter for hunting down Jedi, people that.
Like strongman, like
an enforcer.
Enforcer.
Correct.
From the mob.
He was the Emperor's enforcer. He came in and. Systems that didn't want to bend to the Empire's will. He'd go out to those planets. He'd sit down with their leaders and persuade them using whatever means necessary.
Yeah.
Whether that be throwing your lightsaber across the dinner hall table at somebody to decapitate them, or force choking them to death. Yeah. And you've seen it a lot, even on Imperial leaders. People that were really high up there. The best was Admiral Ozzel. Came out of Lightspeed too close to the system.
Oh yeah, correct.
So yeah, I think the Emperor though would, if he really had his way, he said, "Hey, you got to go do this."
So is Kylo, the new or First Order's? I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Was he the strong man?
I don't think so. I think that the differences in their characters weren't. For me, Kylo didn't inspire fear among. He would send stormtroopers in to handle situations, and I just didn't think he was enough of a frightening thought for people.
Well, first of the Force Awakens, I mean, he had a mask, and I'd already heard that he was a fanatic for Darth Vader. Didn't know he was Darth Vader's grandson, but I thought, okay, well, they're kind of redoing Darth Vader. We'll see how it goes, but. They rebuilt his mask and stuff. So. Well, let me read some more news. Episode 9 will finish off the character stories, including those of Rey, Kylo Ren, Finn, Rose, and Poe. But several faces from previous movies will be reappearing. Mark Hamill will be reprising Luke Skywalker, despite dying in last year's Last Jedi. Probably a Force ghost, I guess. Billy D. Williams will be seen as Lando. Yay, finally.
Everything you've heard about me is true, by the way.
Why wasn't he in the Force Awakens? Anyway.
Maybe he's out front in Cloud City. Here's a quick solo Easter egg. If you look really closely inside the Millennium Falcon, you will see a picture of Bespin.
Oh, really?
Just the shape of the thing with the...
It's like up in the chapel.
Like the Cloud City thing. Correct. Just like in the... Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, it's a little Easter egg. I have, I've sat and watched Solo probably 8 or 9 times now, so I'm starting to pick up on that.
Why he wasn't in... he was in Empire and he was in Return of the Jedi. Why wasn't he in Force Awakens? Anyway. Carrie Fisher's Leia.
Rest in peace.
Will return, thanks to unused footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And Anthony Daniels will, as ever, also be seen as C-3PO. The actor that played R2-D2, he passed away.
Was that Kenny Baker?
Yes. So, there are rumors that Mr. Christensen,
Hayden
Christensen will be back as Anakin, which, if it's the end of the Skywalker saga, I think it should be. I hope he is. I didn't have a problem with his acting in the trilogy, the prequels. I liked him just fine. I had my problems with his motivation, but he, as an actor, I think he did just fine. He was menacing, but at the same time, he was in love with Padme, and it's fairly convincing for what he had to deal with, what he had to do.
And I think that's what I love about George Lucas is he hired these actors that were he'd say, hey, I'm going to need you for 10 years, because these movies take almost 10 years for a trilogy. And so, and then, he, best example, Ewan McGregor started that movie when I think he was 18.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, George Lucas has always hired actors really, he might have been older than 18. He might have been in his 20s. But, Hayden Christensen, that's 3 movies, that's a long stretch of time to expect an actor to grow exactly how fans want him to be. And, I don't blame George Lucas. Episode 3 would have been the hardest episode to write.
That's the episode where Vader, where Anakin becomes Vader. That's what is pivotal in this mythology.
Yeah, and there's a little bit in there that, for me, I loved. And it shows that it's right after Obi-Wan cuts off Anakin's arms and legs. And he says, I loved you, Anakin. You were like a brother to me.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
It's so reminiscent of how Obi-Wan, even how Alec Guinness's performance was, he said, if you strike me down, Darth, you'll never,
That's a good point, because, I mean, the character of Obi-Wan has to feel a little bit
betrayed, at least.
Well, betrayed, but also he has to feel like this is his fault in a way. That Anakin did become Vader. So when in A New Hope, when he lets Darth Vader strike him down, it kind of gives you a little bit added color to that, because now you know the backstory a little bit better.
Yeah.
So anyway, Hayden Christensen has been was spotted. He made an appearance alongside Ian McDiarmid, who was the Emperor
in all 6 all 5 movies. He was Darth Sidious. Sidious.
Yeah, and they were Star Wars celebrations, so there's a good chance that both of those may be making a cameo, which I'd be up for that. I mean, in my Star Wars video I made a few weeks ago, that's what I said. Just have a blowout, I don't like the fact that there's rhyming it with the Return of the Jedi. I don't like that. But if you're going to bring a bunch of these characters back as Force ghosts, man, I'd like to see them become corporeal, whatever you call it, solid, and have the duel. I mean, Yoda, Luke, Anakin, Darth Maul, Palpatine, Obi-Wan, all of them. Somehow, for some reason, they're all back. We'll have this kick-ass duel, and I'd love to see Tron show up in orbit. Wouldn't that be freaking awesome?
Fire on somebody.
Thrawn showing up in orbit, and whatever the resistance is, having to fight them up in orbit while that epic
duel's going on down on a planet's surface.
Yeah. So, some good news and some bad news, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out next year.
I know you're gonna be here, and I'll be.
Yeah.
I'm moving in a little bit, and
far away.
Far away. Not in a galaxy though. I'll still be in the same galaxy.
In a state far away.
A state far away, and we'll still be recording our podcast, and I still plan on doing hopefully doing a Christmas giveaway, maybe to a couple fan, or we'll do like a Star Wars figure ship out or something. I don't know yet. Yeah. We got holidays coming up.
We'll still have a podcast. We just won't be in the same room together. So
yeah.
But that's life. So anyway,
that's it though, huh? No news.
Okay. Well, to be continued. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.